Hi there everyone! My name is Karen. In this video, we will be talking all about assessments. Primarily, the three main purposes of assessments, and I will also be sharing few examples in each purpose as we go along. As teachers, we should know assessments play a crucial part in the teaching-learning process. In fact, the type of assessment that we ask our students to do will determine how they will approach the task and which behavior they are going to use. According to Hain and Priest in 1994, anything a student does can be used for assessment purposes. This means that there is no shortage of opportunities. Assessments can occur at any time. The main responsibility of the teacher is to use meaningful learning experiences as meaningful assessment practices. Now, let's discuss the three main purposes of assessments. The first main purpose of assessment is the AFL, or also known as Assessment for Learning, which always happens during the teaching-learning process. Here, teachers use assessment to provide written or oral feedback to students to advance their learning. Aside from that, teachers use assessments to check the students' understanding and knowledge about the lesson. Now, we know that assessments is a double-edged sword. That means when you are assessing your students, you are also assessing your own methodology, your own strategies, whether it is effective or not. That is why teachers use AFL, or Assessment for Learning, to improve their teaching and to better help the students in achieving the lesson objectives. Few examples of these AFL are quizzes, ongoing checks, homeworks, question and answer sessions. That means these are more of informal assessments, which happens every day and throughout the lesson. The second main purpose of assessment is the AFL, or also known as Assessment of Learning, which always happen after a certain period of time or after academic year. Now, here, this assessment involves time-based testing, which confirms what learners know and what they don't know. Here, teachers use assessment for grading and for judging whether the child achieved the competencies or the standards or not. In simpler terms, they use assessment to decide whether to promote the child or not. Few examples of assessment of learning are examinations, term paper, projects, and portfolios. Now, it doesn't mean that teachers will only use a specific exam to decide whether the child can be promoted to the next level or not. Here, assessment of learning can also mean the collection of data for the entire period of time. That is why portfolios is one of the examples for assessment of learning. The last one, and which I think is the most special purpose of assessment, is the AAL, or the Assessment as Learning, which usually happens before but can also be during and after the teaching learning process. Aside from it can happen before, during, or after, it is the other way around. Here, it is the students who are using assessments to reflect on their own learning. This kind of assessment, teachers are developing the students to be more of independent learners, because the students will set their own goals, monitor their progress, and even reflect on their own learning, whether they achieve the target or what are the things that they need to learn. That is why the examples given are reflections, diagnostic, metacognitive questions like what are the things that I need to learn or what are the things that I need to improve on. And for summative or at the end of the period, the metacognitive questions that they use can be which strategy did I use that helped me achieve the learning goal? Or how will I learn better next time? Last December 2011, an article was published by Mr. Shihab Jima on the impact of assessment on students' learning. In his paper, he claimed that unsuitable assessment methods impose overwhelming pressures on a student to take the wrong approach to learning tasks. It is often the assessment, not the student, that is the cause of the problem. He concluded in his paper by asserting that assessment environments were found to differ widely in their defining characteristics, and the way we assess students has a major impact on their learning. The volume of critical and problem-solving type of assessment is known to have a positive impact on the quality of learning outcomes. I would like to end this video by sharing a line written by David Bood in one of his articles published in 1994. He stated that students can, with difficulty, escape from the effects of poor teaching. They cannot, by definition, if they want to graduate, escape the effects of poor assessment. That's all for my video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day.